You probably think of your morning toothbrushing routine as this, like, totally modern, sanitized chore.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. But if you look at the microscopic grooves on fossilized Neanderthal teeth, you realize that when you're standing there, groggy at your bathroom sink, you're actually performing a 40,000-year-old primal survival ritual.
It is pretty wild to think about.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today on the deep dive, we're looking at a slide deck literally titled realtoothpaste.pptx, and it traces this whole history. But it begs a massive question, like, how do we know prehistoric humans even cared about dental hygiene? I mean, it's not like they had mirrors to check for spinach, right?
Well, they cared enough to actually leave permanent marks on their fossils, which is
Oh.
crazy. So when archaeologists examine teeth from early Homo sapiens and Neanderthals under a microscope, they find these repetitive
This
scratches.
is from brushing.
Basically, yeah. They're called interproximal grooves. It shows these early humans were habitually using tiny bone or wood points to, meticulously scrape out debris from between their teeth.
Okay, so they were essentially using prehistoric splinters just to pick meat out of their teeth.
Exactly.
But that's just basic maintenance. I mean, scrubbing your enamel with a rigid piece of bone doesn't sound very effective for long-term health. So at what point did we transition from just digging out leftover food to actually cleaning the mouth?
Right, because to truly clean, you have to disrupt the plaque. And that requires a real technological leap. We actually see that shift around 3000 BC in Egypt with the invention of what they call chew sticks.
Shoe sticks. Sounds appetizing.
Yeah, not quite. They were these fibrous plant stems that early Egyptians would just chew on until the ends fray into these primitive bristles.
But wait, brushing with a frayed stick just like moves the bacteria around, doesn't it? I mean, you're basically sweeping the floor with a dry broom.
Well, what's fascinating here is that those chew sticks were actually doing double duty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they weren't just a mechanical broom. Those specific plant stems contain natural antimicrobial oils.
Okay, so there was a chemical component too.
Exactly. So while the frayed fibers physically swept away the plaque, those plant compounds were actively breaking down the lipid membranes of the bacteria in the mouth. It was really humanity's first real marriage of mechanical scraping and early plant chemistry.
So they figured out they needed a chemical element. And here's where it gets really interesting in these slides. There's a recipe from a 4th century AD Egyptian papyrus that calls for rock salt, mint, iris powder, and pepper to make a paste.
Yep, pepper.
Wait, pepper? That makes zero sense mechanically. I mean, pepper doesn't clean anything. It's just a massive irritant. Were they just trying to burn the bacteria away?
That's actually a great way to put it. They were aiming for this fierce antiseptic bite based entirely on trial and error.
Wow.
Yeah, they obviously didn't understand the concept of an oral microbiome, but they instinctively possessed this evolutionary drive to chemically alter it. They just knew they needed something highly abrasive and intense to fight decay.
But rubbing rock salt and pepper on your gums? I mean, that sounds like using coarse gravel to wash a car. It would just destroy the paint.
Oh, and it absolutely scratched their enamel. If we look at the slide comparing that ancient practical wisdom to modern lab certainty, the mechanism of cleaning has completely shifted.
Thank goodness.
Right. Today, we don't use coarse grit like rock salt. We use refined abrasives, specifically things like hydrated silica.
Okay, so what does that actually mean mechanically? How is hydrated silica different than just, rubbing salt on a tooth?
Well, think of rock salt as jagged sandpaper. It scrapes the plaque away, sure, but it leaves deep scratches in the tooth. Hydrated silica is a microscopic, rounded gel particle.
Oh, so it's smooth.
Exactly. It polishes the surface of your teeth like a soft buffer without stripping away the actual enamel. And then you combine that with standard fluoride to actively rebuild the tooth, and you have precise chemical manipulation instead of, blind, painful experimentation.
Man, if you're listening to this and thinking about the smooth, perfectly safe, minty paste sitting on your sink right now, just imagine replacing it with crushed rocks and black pepper.
It's a stark contrast for sure. But the slides actually provide a safe, modern recipe if you want to recreate the texture of that ancient Egyptian paste without destroying your enamel.
Wait, really? A DIY ancient toothpaste?
Yeah, it's simply 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a drop of mint extract, and a little water.
Wow. If you were to mix up that test batch and just feel that gritty, ancient texture on a model tooth, it completely reframes things.
It really does put things into perspective.
It makes you wonder, right? Like, how many of our other perfectly packaged, slick, modern daily routines are really just ancient survival rituals hidden behind modern branding? I mean, next time you're standing at the sink half asleep, remember, you're participating in a lineage of care that predates the modern tube by tens of thousands of years.
Absolutely.
If you want to dig deeper into the history in these slides, be sure to check out at the Curiosity Mavericks online. Catch you on the next deep dive.